friends, this is Karina from KarinaWisdom.com, back with day 88 of the journey. So if you were listening to yesterday's message, you know that I've come to a point in this 100-day challenge that I really had to sit back and tap in to what else is required to make this challenge a success. And as a result, I was led to 2 points in the book, 3 Feet from Gold. The first point is, in order to have the courage to succeed, first you must have the courage to start, check, and then you must have the courage to endure, check. As you can see, it's day 88 of the journey, so obviously I am enduring. And once you have the courage to start and the courage to endure, then you automatically have the courage to succeed. But that also means that the second point that I got from the book yesterday is do common things in a common way to get uncommon results. And I must admit that I am guilty of my creativity. I'm a very creative person. I like doing things differently. I don't like to have the same thing that everyone has. I don't like to do the same thing that everyone does. I want to be different. So that creativity of me wanting to be different sort of spilled out into my 100-day journey. And I will admit that I deviated from what my coach said. Then I went back and I watched the blogging training video from my coach. And he shared 3 things that you must do over the next 3 to 6 months consistently to build a 6-figure blog. The first thing is to blog daily around buyer keywords. The second thing is to have 2 to 3 value posts a week on your homepage. And the third thing is do this for 3 to 6 months and you will create an authority site that will get stronger and deliver lots of traffic. And those are the 3 things that you need to do over the next 3 to 6 months in order to build a 6-figure business online. And of course, during this time, you'll be promoting high ticket offers. Now, what I really wanted to focus on today is, as I mentioned before, the point that I got was do common things in a common way to get uncommon results. These things are pretty basic. They're very, very common. Number 1, blog daily around buyer keywords. Number 2, add 2 to 3 value posts a week on the homepage. And number 3, be consistent with this for 3 to 6 months. Because at the end of the day, the whole blogging platform is a long-term commitment. And eventually you can have a self-managed blog. You can have your blog get to the point where you hire people to work with you full-time that will take the pressure off you, whether it be virtual assistants or one personal assistant that can take the whole pressure off you in terms of research or coming up with topics that you can blog about or things like that. So there is a way to get to the point of it being self-managed, and that is my ultimate goal. But in the meantime, I really have to set up this platform that it is generating income consistently. Now, of the 3 things, and this is just me doing a fact check, have I been blogging daily? Yes. But has it been around buyer keywords? No. As a matter of fact, I put up 2 blog posts daily, one around my daily motivational video and one around my journey, the Chronicle. Have I been adding 2 to 3 value posts a week on my homepage? I think so. I think the Chronicle of my journey is a value post in itself, although I can see where I need to do more. And have I been consistent for 3 months? Well, you know what? In the next 2 days, it will be 90 days that I've been doing this journey, and I have been consistent for 3 months. So now I really need to step back and look at this. And I will admit to you that this afternoon, I sat down in front of my computer and I was at a complete loss of what to do. I was thinking about the different strategies, the different angles that I could take. But the other thing is about keeping it simple, doing common things in a common way to get uncommon results. Because this layout that he has here for the next 3 to 6 months is very common. There's nothing complicated about it. There's nothing special about the process. And Yet you have to trust the process and trust that it works, because this is what is required to build an authority blog. So I really sat down in front of my laptop today and I was at a loss. I was thinking, wow, how am I going to make this work? What is required to make this work? And I really sat down and I thought about it, and I thought running away frustrated and just throwing myself into something else. It came up to me like, okay, let's do some research. So I started researching buyer keywords, because the only buyer keyword that my coach was talking about is the word review. And of course, it's me being guilty of being creative. And maybe I'm deviating a bit from what he says. However, I don't think so. He only uses the word review, but I'm also looking for other keywords. I really honestly don't want to be spending my time sitting down writing reviews every day. So I am looking at other buyer keywords, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 that are really core, that really drives traffic, and that will require some keyword research. So I've been actually reading up a lot of blogs and articles about buyer keywords. This is a new concept for me. And what is a buyer keyword? So for example, a buyer keyword would be your item, whatever it is, say it's a camera, and the word buy. So buy digital camera. So your buyer keyword is the word buy, or discount, or coupon, or review, or purchase. Those are buyer keywords. And then you have your actual product, whatever it is that you are talking about for them to buy or not to buy, because you can go either way whenever you do a buyer keyword. You can or argue for and lead them to the product, or you can argue against and show them another option. So there are many ways that you can play the whole buyer keyword world. Now, when you have a buyer keyword, what they're saying is it's a long tail keyword that leaves no argument about what this person wants. If you have buy digital camera, that's not a buyer keyword, because they still have not made their choice. They're still looking for digital cameras. So you have to be very, very specific. So a buyer keyword, a true buyer keyword, would be buy Canon SLR 250 digital zoom scoop whatever camera. I mean, like the actual physical camera. You're zoning into one, and that is a buyer keyword, because that person knows exactly what they want and they're looking for it to buy it online. And that's what they mean by buyer keywords. So I'm really studying the whole concept of buyer keywords, and I think that me understanding the whole concept will help me to further expand. So I'm still using my creativity a bit, but I'm using it within the boundaries set by my coach. So it's a blog daily, one post around buyer keywords, and that's where I'm going to be focused and expanding on. For today's message, we're going to be looking at mentoring. Do you have a mentor? Who are you following their information that will help move you forward towards your business? Because there's lots of information out there. There are lots of people that provide different things. For me, I have several different persons that I use as mentors. Automatically, your coach sort of qualifies as a mentor, but then I have other persons that I follow that are super, super successful, that I listen to what they say, and I know that whatever they say is golden and it's leading me in the right direction. Now, one of them is Grant Cardone. You know I'm a big fan of Grant Cardone. I have all his books. I catch his videos, especially Young Hustlers, every Thursday. I didn't miss it today. And that's what inspired some of what I'm talking to you about mentors. And yeah, I even have some of his audiobooks, and I'm constantly watching his videos because he gives great information. It was actually one of my accountability partners sent me a video of Grant Cardone and said, hey, check out Grant. This guy is the boss. And I wrote back and I'm like, hey, dude, I told you that he is the boss. Come on, I have all his books. I have his audio programs. I watch his videos every day. He is awesome, and the content that he provides, it's spot on, and there's no way you can duplicate his years of experience, over 30 years of experience on one topic. And that's how to sell. And why am I so into Grant Cardone and what he teaches? The number one thing that you need to do in business is to sell. And the number one responsibility that you have when you start a business is to sell. Provide value in exchange for money. What do you need to do the next day? You need to figure out how to sell more. And that also ties in to the other two persons that I really follow their information as mentors. That's Mark Cuban. He's all about saying to you that first responsibility that you have as an entrepreneur is to sell. And Michael Matheson, he also teaches that the first responsibility that you have as an entrepreneur is to sell. Now, Michael Matheson is actually my second mentor in terms of information that I follow online. I trust what he teaches. He has built many multi-billion-dollar companies. He has consulted with many multi-billion-dollar companies. And you might think that, hey, Karina, isn't that way out of your scope? Well, here's the deal. He actually wrote a book called Ready, Fire, Aim, and it talks about making your first million, going from 0 to a million. And he talks about the 4 different stages of a company. So you have from 0 to a million, what that company needs to be focused on, what are the potential issues they would have, how they can resolve their potential issues, and what should be their main focus. And then he has from a million to 10 million, that type of company has a whole different set of problems. And then he has from 10 million to 100 million, that company has a whole different set of problems. And then he has 100 million onwards. So he has 4 different stages of a business. And let me tell you, this is a true entrepreneur. He's really, really into businesses. He breathes it, he eats it, he consults on it every single day. So his book, Ready, Fire, Aim by Michael Matheson, is an awesome book to get if you're interested in really growing your business big. It's great. That leads me to my other mentor, which is actually one of my coaches, Alex Jeffries. It's through Alex Jeffries that I actually learned about Michael Matheson and his work, because Michael Matheson and Alex are friends. And Alex said he was sitting down talking to Michael, and he was like, "Did you read my book?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "Go and read my book." And he read his book, and after reading his book, just implementing a few things from his book, he grew his business from 100,000 to under $1 million. And it was like a year and a half later, I met up with Michael again. They were sitting down in a cigar bar, chatting, drinking, smoking cigars. And he's like, "Did you read my book?" And he's like, "Yeah, I read your book already." He's like, "Did you read it again?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Read my book again." And so my coach read his book again, and it grew his business. So this just teaches you the importance of when you find these staple books, because there are books that fall into different categories. There are books that you can read them and there's only one thing that's valuable in them and you don't need to read them again. There are other books that you really need to, you can read them. They offer more than 1 or 2 points and you can read them again. And then you have the staple books. Like, my books that I consider my staple books are Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone, or The Success Principles by Jack Canfield, or The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, or Ready, Fire, Aim by Michael Matheson, and some books by Dan S. Kennedy. These books, every single corner of these books offer valuable insights. They're almost like a physical blueprint in book form. And that's kind of like the type of books that Michael Matheson writes. And whenever you read it, you always get more. And you're always at a different stage when you read a book. So when you've read it, you've absorbed it, you've put it together, go back and check it out again, because you're reading it with a new set of eyes. You're reading it with a different set of problems. The 4th person that I have as one of my mentors who I read and follow their information is Jay Abraham. Now, of course, how I found out about Jay Abraham is through my coach, Alex Jeffries. And he is a big Jay Abraham fan. Jay Abraham is also known as the $1 billion man in marketing. So a lot of what he teaches is really high level in terms of how to grow your business, how to market, but it is applicable. It doesn't matter what level you are in your business. So Find those type of persons that you can follow their information and consume it, read it, use it every day. Do not go a day without looking at it, because this is the type of information that will help you grow and help you move your business forward. My friends, remember you can click like on the video below, and while you're down there, click subscribe to the channel so you can get the latest video as soon as it's published. In the description, you'll find a link to my website, KarinaWisdom.com. Click it, jump over there, and you land on day 88 of the journey. You'll see a detailed listing of exactly what I did today to move myself forward towards my goal. Thank you again for watching this video. This is Karina from KarinaWisdom.com signing off. Boom.